I get it. You're staring at the price tag on the MSI Vector 16HX and wondering if it's really worth the cash, especially when you've already seen a dozen other gaming laptops promising ultra-fast performance. You've probably asked yourself whether that 16-inch 144Hz screen will actually make a difference in your favorite shooters, or if the RTX 5070 Ti will be overkill for the games you actually play. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through the real-world experience of this machine so you can decide if it's a smart buy or just another flashy spec sheet. First off, the Vector 16 is built around the new Intel Core Ultra 7255HX and NVIDIA's RTX 5070 Ti. On paper that sounds like a dream team for high FPS gaming and demanding creator tasks, but the key question is how it behaves when you actually fire it up for a marathon session. I spent a solid 8 hours with the laptop in 3 different scenarios: a competitive Valorant match, a 3-hour YouTube editing marathon, and a weekend Netflix binge while the room temperature climbed to about 78 F. In each case, the laptop delivered a consistent story. There are clear wins, but also a few compromises that matter depending on how you use it. If you're the type of gamer who lives for every frame, the 144Hz FHD Plus panel is genuinely noticeable. In Valorant, the RTX 5070 Ti kept the frame rate comfortably above 200 FPS at medium-high settings, which meant the mouse cursor never felt jittery and you could spot enemies a fraction of a second earlier. That fluidity also translates well to fast-paced indie titles where screen tearing can ruin immersion. For streamers who want to capture their gameplay locally, the laptop's AI-enhanced encoding handled a 1080p 60 FPS stream without any hiccups, thanks to the combination of the Ultra CPU's dedicated AI cores and the GPU's encoder. On the creation side, the 16GB of DDR5 RAM and the 512GB NVMe SSD felt snappy when moving large video files between Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve. The SSD filled up faster than I'd like for 30-minute 4K clips already ate up about 350 GB, but the read/write speeds meant dragging footage onto the drive was almost instantaneous. If you're editing on the go and need to render quick cuts, the Vector's hardware acceleration cut my export times in half compared to my older 15-inch laptop. Now, let's talk heat. MSI's Advanced Cooler Boost does a decent job of spreading the heat across the chassis, but the Vector's slim 16-inch chassis means it can still get warm under heavy load. During that 3-hour editing session, the CPU hit the low 80s Celsius range, and the fans kicked up noticeably. It wasn't scary, but you'll definitely feel the vibration if you're sitting close to the laptop. For a short burst of gaming or rendering, it's fine, but if you plan on keeping the machine on a lap for hours, you might want a cooling pad. That's a hidden trade-off that isn't obvious from the spec sheet. Battery life is another practical factor. The 99Wh battery, the largest you can legally ship on a plane, gives you about 4 hours of mixed-usage gaming, streaming, and a bit of editing. If you're a college student who expects to unplug for a whole day, that's a limitation. The laptop does support fast charging via its Thunder 5 port, so you can get a decent charge in under an hour, but you'll still be tethered to a power outlet for any serious session. Connectivity is where the Vector shines. Thunderbolt 5, Wi-Fi 6E, and a full suite of USB-C and HDMI ports mean you can hook up an external 4K monitor, a high-speed external SSD, or a capture card without needing a dongle. I connected it to a 144Hz external display and the laptop mirrored the internal panel's smoothness without any noticeable latency. Great for a dual-screen setup where you game on one screen and keep chats, Discord, or streaming software on the other. So, who should actually buy this laptop? If you're a competitive gamer who values high frame rates, a content creator who needs AI-accelerated encoding, or a power user who wants a portable workstation that can double as a gaming rig, the Vector 16 offers a compelling blend of performance and features. The premium gray chassis also feels a bit more pro than the typical RGB-splashed gaming laptops, which can be a subtle but nice touch if you use it in a coffee shop or at school. Who should skip it? First, budget-conscious buyers. At its price point, you can find a 15-inch laptop with a Ryzen 7 and an RTX 3060 that will handle most games at 1080p with decent frame rates, and you'll still have room in the budget for a larger SSD or a better cooling solution. Second, anyone who needs ultra-long battery life. The Vector's power draw is high, and you'll find yourself hunting for a power outlet in libraries or co-working spaces. Finally, if you're not planning to push the GPU, say you just play turn-based strategy games or use the laptop for basic office work, the RTX 5070 Ti is essentially overkill and you'll be paying for horsepower you'll never use.